Hi everybody, this is Alex, a senior thrifter, and today I want to talk to you about haul videos. Not necessarily what I bought and how much I got for it and all that, but more what to look for when you're looking at an item to buy, so that you won't make the mistakes that I made when I started. Hopefully this will help you out a little bit. So first of all, let's start with hats. I love hats. I have a hard time finding them actually in good shape, but I love to find them. One of the things to look for when you're looking at wool hats particularly, look very carefully all over to make sure there's no moth holes. No, I've found some beautiful fedoras and then in the back there's a massive moth hole. Nobody wants that. The second thing I look for is to make sure that it's clean on the interior. Now, sometimes you can clean this a little bit, the grosgrain ribbon, but if it's really dirty or really sweaty, nobody wants to buy that, okay? The third thing that drives me crazy about hat listings is they'll say it's a small or it's a medium. Well, small to one company is large to another, or small to another, or medium to another. So what I do is I measure the circumference around the grosgrain ribbon, and I let them know what that is. The next thing I do, particularly in a hat like this that fits me, I tell them this is, I wear a 7.5, and this fits me very easily. In fact, it could go up a little bit because it's a little loose on me. And if they know their hat size, that does help them a bit with whether they want the hat or not. Now, when I list it, I measure from the brim to the top of the crown. A lot of people don't like a really high hat. Some people want it very high. Brim is extremely important. When I first started listing hats, I didn't put the brim size on. I got so many questions. A lot of people like a good size brim. That's why they're wearing the hat, to shade their eyes. They don't necessarily want to wear sunglasses. Also, any embellishment I always list. If the hat is a particular brand, I list that, but this one is not a particular brand, but it does give the fiber content. And so I do list that. I also have a hat brush, which I don't have right here with me, but don't use any old brush. You use a hat brush, and you can actually, Village Shop has those online, Village Hat Shop, and you brush counterclockwise, and it really cleans up the hat. Okay, this is another hat that I absolutely love. In fact, I think I may keep this one. Faux fur. I list it, it's lined, very important. And again, I list the circumference and I list the size. This is smaller back here, it's larger up here. I want to make sure I say that if I do list this. Okay, now, and also at the end of each season, or the beginning, I should say the beginning, well, the end of the season and the beginning of another, is when you can pick up tremendously good items. For example, I've picked up a lot of sandals just in the past month or two. I've picked up a lot of straw hats, straw handbags. In fact, I have one right over here that's absolutely adorable. Brand new, never been worn, beautiful, beautiful bag. Okay? So the reason that happens, obviously, is people are done with summer, they're hauling out their winter things, and they say, oh God, I haven't worn those sandals, I haven't worn that hat, I haven't worn the top, whatever, let's get rid of it. Then they start going through their winter items, and they say, you know what, I don't even know why I'm keeping this, I never wear it, or this doesn't fit me anymore. So they start getting rid of things from the end of one season and some things from the beginning of the next. For example, in the spring, for example, I'm going to be picking up a lot of winter items. Now again, sometimes the cash flow is not always there, but I do try to pick up things at that time. You can get some really good items. Hi, sweetie, my little dog is here. Okay, the next item I want to talk about are shoes. I pick up a lot of shoes. I love these. Check out this bamboo heel here. First of all, obviously, on a heel, you want to make sure this is not scraped up or dings or dents or whatever, because forget it. Don't even think about it. And a lot of women, they walk along, they hit a hole, or they go through a grate, or when they're driving, they scrape it. Now, if it's just this part, the little tab that's messed up, Cobblers can replace those for a few bucks. It's no big deal. So if you're going to make enough on the shoe, don't hesitate because this is worn down. Just make sure it hasn't worn down the bottom part of the heel. The next thing I look for is the cushioning. Is it really nicely cushioned? As particularly on high heels. Now, on flat sandals, I don't worry so much. People don't seem to care about that as much. And of course, the sole you want to make sure. Now, this particular shoe, for example, does not have a size in it. So, and it doesn't fit me. So what I do is I tell them there's no size listed, but I measure from the toe to the back of the heel, and I also measure across the widest part of the sole. And that'll give them an idea. They can measure their own shoes and make sure that it will fit them. Now, one thing that I've made a mistake on that I want to make sure you check for, because I bought initially when I started a lot of shoes that at one time that had a problem. Inside, whether it's a sandal, a lace-up, an athletic shoe, check the inside for the wear. And sometimes it's hidden. And I hate to say it, don't tell anybody, but on Talbot shoes, a lot of times it flakes on the inside. So that is going to cut down on the amount of money that you're going to get for your shoe. Because who wants a flaky shoe? You know, it's just not going to work. Okay. And again, I buy all sizes. 5s, 10s, 14s, it doesn't matter. Millions of people are looking at online and everybody's got a different shoe size. So that is not a big deal. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are handbags. And I just picked up this wonderful Betsey Johnson, very whimsical phone handbag. And guess what? The phone is missing. But there are people who collect her handbags. They probably can buy a phone online to fit it. It's one of these you hook into and your cell phone's on the inside, so you actually look like you're talking on a phone, but you're talking on your cell phone. So always check to make sure all the parts are there, particularly long straps. Very important. If you've got tabs like this, where it's very obvious that a long handle goes on this. Now, if this were hidden inside a flap or on the inside, it wouldn't matter so much. I wouldn't care if the strap wasn't there, as long as there was another smaller strap to carry the handbag. But you want to make sure that the strap is on the inside, or either on the inside or it's already attached. Very, very important. Now, the next thing to look for, if there's a zipper or a snap, make sure they work. This has a lot of this big zipper. Same with clothing. I've made that mistake where the tab was missing and I didn't notice, or it didn't zip up. Who wants a sweater or a jacket that doesn't zip? Same with handbags. You want to make sure all the snaps and all the zippers work. Now, having said that, when I go to a thrift store, I see things I like, I just put them in my cart, just dump them in my cart. When I've done my tour, as I call it, of the thrift store, then I start looking everything over for flaws, for nicks, for dents, for scrapes, for digs, for pulls, for things that don't work or things that are missing. Now, that doesn't always work in an estate sale. I used to go to an estate sale where the guy got fed up with all of us dealers coming in, and he said, look, if you're walking around with it in your hand, you're going to buy it. Don't even think about putting it back. Because, you know, it kept it away from people that potentially might have bought it. But in thrift stores, they don't seem to care, and I can get away with it there. Okay. Now, another thing I look for when I'm buying tops or jackets or whatever, always check the underarm. This is where the seams come apart or there's a hole oftentimes. If it's pilling, you can buy a sweater shaver, and they work like a charm. I got mine at Walmart, and I do it on my own clothing as well. There are there are items that just pill, but they shave it right off. You don't have to worry about it ruining the outfit. I also look, whether it's a turtleneck or a crew neck, whatever, to see if it's dirty on the inside. This one is very clean. So that, you know, can I wash it? Is it dry clean only? And is it filthy? It's probably not worth my picking up. Then I look at the tag. Now this is obviously an older one. There's no WWW on here. Plus the fact it's paper. And the newer ones have more of the plastic. They're brighter colored. They have their website normally on there. So always check all of those things to make sure they're in good shape. All right, now for the first time in I don't know how many years, I bought scrubs. And I've been looking at scrubs for years because I know they sell well, but they're always very shop worn. And the colors are faded, they look worn, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to make enough money on these. Who wants a worn out looking scrub? People are buying because they need new scrubs. Theirs are worn out. This one is adorable. It's Dalmatians in a flying saucer food bowl. And the colors are bright. Unfortunately, it's not a real big size, but there are people that are smaller. It will sell. So I was very happy to find that. And I found another one as well that has doctors and nurses robots on it. It's really cute. Again, very vibrant colors, looks brand new. Tags look new. Really, really good. Okay, now another item that I packed up because I sold it, but I bought a very large Revereware copper clad pan. And some things you want to look for when you look at pans, because they do sell. Set it on a flat surface and make sure that it doesn't wobble, that it's not warped. Very important. Secondly, make sure the handle is secure. You don't want a wobbly handle. And thirdly, if there's a lid, make sure that it fits really well. It can be a little bit loose, but make sure it's made for that pan. Plus, make sure the outer rim is not dented, because that will make a big difference in the fit. And those are very important. Now, sometimes they'll put out pans and they'll just stick a lid on top. It doesn't go with the pan. So you want to make sure all of it works together, nothing wobbles, everything's secure. Because remember, people are going to be putting hot things in there. You don't want them to get burned. Okay, let's see, what else was I going to talk about? Puzzles. I used to buy puzzles, and then I thought, do I really want to put together a 1,000-piece puzzle to make sure all the pieces are here? So unless it is factory wrapped. Now that's important because some of the thrift stores will wrap it in their own plastic. You can tell when it's done. It's very non-professional. Don't buy those unless it's for you, because how do you know all the pieces are there? And you could get a defect by selling it as complete, and the people get it and there are 5, 6, 7, 10 pieces missing. Even one piece missing will annoy a person. So unless it is already, you know, people can say, oh yeah, all the pieces are there. Don't do it. Unless they're wrapped, don't go buying it, okay? Now, the larger sizes that you buy in clothing usually sell better. Anything from large, extra large, 2X on up. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy the smaller sizes, because I have a lot of small sizes. I have petites. They take longer to sell, but if it's a spectacular piece, it will sell. Okay? So hopefully I've covered some things for you that you can look for. And if you have any questions, type them down below and I'll get back to you. And thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.